Hello and welcome to this week's edition of the Weekly Wind-Up with me, Dave Hodgson, and it's great to be with you. So here's a roundup of the news from the Examiner. Government backing to develop the HS3 high-speed rail link between Manchester and Leeds will be, quote, no substitute for construction work actually beginning, a think tank has claimed. An IPPR North representative warned that the region will expect significant investment in the project. One of the road schemes is for a £75 million 6-mile tunnel beneath the Woodhead Pass south of Home Firth, and there is also likely to be extra funding to improve the M62. But, he added, it is important to remember though that project development work is no substitute for spades in the ground and only raises expectations about the government's ambitions for the north. In due course, government will be expected to invest significant amounts of public money to finally get the construction of these projects off the ground, just as it has done with Crossrail in London. Until then, as a region and as a nation, the amount of money we invest in transport infrastructure remains much lower than any other developed nation. Mr Osborne is expected to commit the government to taking forward HS3 between Manchester and Leeds through Huddersfield and Dewsbury, with £60 million to cut the journey times to 30 minutes from their current 49. Louise Ellman, chair of the Commons Transport Select Committee, said there is a far more investment in the south than there is for other regions, and described improving Transpennine links as equally important to the north as Crossrail is to London. She said the £300 million budget package to boost transport in the north isn't very much compared to Crossrail 2 in London, which is expected to cost between £27 and £32 billion. Moving on, they were all brought up in a landlocked Huddersfield. About as far as you can get from the sea, we reckon it is. And now they're united at one of the country's top Royal Naval air stations. The 3 officers at Culdrose in Cornwall are putting their own Yorkshire seal of approval on their Merlin squadron and sharing a love of the Huddersfield Giants, with one admitting to wearing his Huddersfield Giants shirt even while he's chasing pirates. The proud Yorkshire trio, Commander John Holroyd, Lieutenant Commander Earl Kingston and Lieutenant Johnny Balcombe, the squadron's logistics officer, all hail from Huddersfield. They discovered their hometown connection when Commander Holroyd, the new commanding officer, joined 820 Naval Air Squadron last month. Lieutenant Commander Kingston, senior pilot of 820 NAS, said, "We've all met up before in the Royal Navy, but not actually in Huddersfield, which is about as landlocked and away from the water as you can get." That's canals, taking exception, of course. We all went to different schools in the area and have had different career paths so far in the Royal Navy, but Yorkshire roots run deep, even in Cornwall. Lieutenant Commander Kingston added, "The Royal Navy is not a usual career choice for people from Huddersfield, but my career over the past 15 years has been amazing. Everywhere I've gone, my Huddersfield Giants shirt has gone with me. I've worn it in the Gulf, the Falklands, Australia, off the coast of Somalia when we were chasing pirates. I've even stood on the Great Wall of China with it on. It's been with me all over the world. There's always a little bit of Huddersfield with me and now my colleagues." We're going to take a short break now from our usual programme to get a short message from one of our sponsors. See you after the break. Welcome back, and finally a giant fundraising campaign has begun for a very special school. Parents, staff and friends of Longley School in Lower Houses need to raise over £200,000 to make their dream of a large adventure playground and a state-of-the-art sensory room come true. Businesses and the local community are now being asked by the Friends of Longley School group if they can help the good cause from the Dog Kennel Bank site, which is needed to help better support the different sensory and social needs of its 130 pupils. The project follows a change to Longley School, which has become a specialist autistic school. Themed areas with climbing frames, sandpits, tunnels, slides and a ball park, and also trampolines, will all be included in the sensory and physical development garden, which will be built on one of the current outdoor areas of the school. Quiet areas and a safe cycling zone will also be created, where students will be able to ride bikes and use the Bluetooth to enable them to listen to music while they're doing it. Zoe Gleedle, Parent Support Advisor, is a member of the Friends group, which was formed last November. She said, "We started the campaign because these things are not catered for within the school budget from the local community. We want to provide somewhere which is physically challenging but safe, where our pupils can climb, clamber and crawl, and much, much more, of course. We also need somewhere where they can interact with their peers. So far, £1,000 has been raised by local businesses. We've done really well in a short space of time," said Zoe. Children on the autistic spectrum, aged between 5 to 19, along with existing students with other needs, will benefit from the proposed facilities. Any business or person who would like to donate to the cause should email friendsoflongley@kirkleeseducation.uk. Look out for our next edition of Weekly Windup on Monday the 23rd of March, when we will be talking to Dr. Steve Ollerton from the Clinical Commissioning Group. Please remember, if you would like to comment on any of the stories, please contact us on Twitter @The Weekly Windup and on Facebook, or you can email us at info@kirkleeslocaltv.com. That's all from me for today. So on behalf of the team that are putting this programme out that you don't see but I do, thanks for joining us, and be with us next Wednesday. Bye-bye.
However large or small your business, attracting new customers requires dedication and a lot of patience. Just like fishing, but you also need the right gear. Rods,
reels, lines, hooks, sinkers, lures,
tackle box, tackle bag, net, bait, gas gloves, clothes, and pocket knife lunch.
or you could simply advertise with KLTV. Online, grow your business and your clientele. KLTV, your vision made reality. Should have gone to KLTV.